Well, my background and how I got involved with the film started obviously as an acrobat. I was a trampolinist for many years, competing for Canada. And after graduating from university, I decided to run away with the circus. I was drafted by Cirque du Soleil back in 1986, and I toured with the company for about 9 years. After which I moved more into teaching and also into performing in dance theater. Dance theater, and then also just physical theater and different roles for theater, for opera. And ultimately in the 2000 I became a choreographer. I was specialized in creating movement when it comes to opera and physical theater, and obviously choreography when I was working with live shows. And in 2003, I was asked to come in and join a famous show called Cavalia that I choreographed. I was specialized in choreographing all the acrobatics in this show and responsible for integrating the world of acrobatics with the equestrian world. I then followed the show for a total of about 16 years as artistic director and also as a resident director. During that time, I had in and outs going into opera productions and physical theater, and I had a chance to do some work with NBC choreographing for Celebrity Circus, of all things. And then, yes, what was involved, I think I started with motion capture back in the really early days. It must have been, it was 2000 and close to 2000 actually. I worked in a film by Peter Cronenberg, and it was really the beginning. There was like 6 caption, dots on the suits. And obviously it took me to, a lot of great shows, a lot of working with performers, a lot of teaching. And one day I got a call asking me if I would be interested in preparing the actors for Planet of the Apes. And I didn't even hesitate for a moment. And here I am today. For me, preparing an actor for a physical role starts with conditioning the body and stripping some of the conditioned layers, habits of the human in that actor, so that he becomes I call it, an open vessel. An open vessel is ready to receive new content. And this is a process that goes through a lot of different techniques, specific movements that I choose among many of those techniques to get an actor to develop his coherence, develop his coordination, ultimately have the perfect body awareness to be ready to now incorporate a new persona, and not only a psyche, but a physical persona, which is the case for Planet of the Apes. And then the process, of course, once this is achieved, is really starting with the basics, studying the creature that you're creating, in our case, the ape, and understanding the physiology of it, understanding, the different proportions and the nature of that creature and its behavior in nature and in social environments. And then taking the actor on that journey, first discovering the physical creature that he's going to be, then slowly taking him through who he is, what does he like, how does he act when he's angry, when he's scared, when he's happy, when he's loving, and going through all the array of different emotions, different intensities, and eventually once that has been workshopped and obviously improvised, hours and hours of improvisation, then we get into the scenes and we start doing scene-specific work and playing at different rhythms, different positions, different, going through all that. And the process took about 6 weeks in all before shooting time. And we had some contributions. Andy Serkis was really generous of his person, did some Zoom calls with the actors one-on-one to help them just tweak their character, find the story behind it, find the voice, find how they would have their narrative come out properly. And then we were ready to shoot, and here we go. We're starting a movie. Yes, when it comes to how the process of doing motion capture and that transformation literally to the end product, which is absolutely stunning. What was really important during the shoot was for me to make sure that the actors not only mastered their character and were playing it the right way, depending on what the director was looking for, also helping keep an eye on how they play their characters through the whole shoot, because the actor being focused on what the scene is and how the character is going to play that scene sometimes takes him out of the format of the ape, especially if there's last minute changes and variations to be explored. And so I always had an eye on what they were doing in front of the camera. And it was interesting because over time, since sometimes it was difficult to get to them because there was a lot of people on set and a lot of people that have to interact with them, and makeup and costume and the director in and out, I found a way to communicate with them by just mimicking, signing, looking at each other. And when it was complicated, I'd find my way in and talk to them and say, look, you could do this, do that. But it was pretty phenomenal how over time the actors, after finishing a scene and having their feedback and everything before they started anything else would just look at me, and we looked at each other and we understood what was going on. And I would just do a little mimic to show them, remember to stay low, or watch your head, your head is not right, or watch your knees, you're standing up straight and now you look like a guy in a suit. And all these things, they're really important details to make sure that the actor in the mocap suit is really that character that we worked on through the whole process of shooting the movie, and remains consistent so that it doesn't become too much of a challenge for all the VFX, Weta going through all illustration and CGI, having to question themselves, oh, that was weird, we're gonna have to redo the legs or whatever. So this is all something that I had to keep an eye for and try to help as much as I can. And my relationship with Weta was great. I mean, Eric, the VFX producer, was fantastic. He really helped me. Sometimes my eye was somewhere else or on another character in the background, whatever, and Eric would come and elbow me and say, I think, this character, he's just, he's not right, there's something wrong. And then I get in, oh yes, thank you for reminding me. And it was really a lot of cooperation happening that way. And I mean, what I saw so far coming out on the end product is just mesmerizing. My fear was that there was so much work done in creating these characters and these actors, having to transform themselves and going through the whole meat grinder of creating a character, which is difficult. It's emotional. It has a lot of layers, and hoping that in the end I could recognize these characters just looking at the CGI animation and just go, wow, this is exactly, I can feel their heartbeat, and that's what we're seeing. It's just extraordinary. The work that they did was phenomenal. It's pure magic, really.